today is going to be largely a discussion of UFC 308, which is around the corner. And we are so excited for this card. We're going to start right off the bat with this Ilia Topuria versus Max Holloway matchup. Now, there's some notable things to talk about because MMA Guru in particular, coming back to him, sorry. But no, I know some of the stuff you're actually it's kind of growing on you. So maybe turning a corner slightly. But MMA Guru has been saying for a long time that we need the face-offs again. We need the 1v1 interviews where both guys are on there and they kind of get to go back and forth and draw a little bit at each other and see if something comes out of it that intrigues fans. And it was finally done. And it was done via Zoom, not in person, but still pretty cool. And they had a face-to-face and a back and forth. And I actually thought this was incredible. What did you think of it when you watched it? Because I'm going to show some clips in a second, but was it entertaining to you, or were you like, it's not that interesting?
It's not that interesting to me is because you're talking to Max Holloway. You're talking about arguably the greatest featherweight of all time. And for someone like Ilia Topuria, who's an incredible fighter, he beat Volk. That's his stamp, in his career right now of beating, Volkanovski, which is an incredible feat. But time and time again, Max Holloway's been tested. He didn't fight Volk one time. He fought him 3 times. He's fought Justin Gaethje. He's fought fucking he just fought what's his name? Jeez, the King of Rio. Why can't I think of his name? He just fought last weekend.
Jose Aldo?
When you are someone like Ilia Topuria, Jose Aldo, yeah. When you're Ilia Topuria and you've had one, solidifying moment in your career, and you're talking shit to somebody like the God, the GOAT, Max Holloway, I just don't like it. It's like, you got to earn your stripes. And then I'm just not a big Ilia Topuria fan, and I'll tell you when I started not to be. It's when he demanded that he gets a BMF shot, and Max is like, well, that's not a very BMF thing to say. And that really immediately turned me off. I mean, I get it. He's a great fighter, and he's this, he's that. But there's sometimes when a fighter says something that's so cringy that, oh, you better put up the BMF title. It's like, well, that's not really what a BMF would say. The BMF, I don't know, man. I'm not a big Ilia Topuria fan. I think he's an incredible fighter. But he has to earn his stripes. Like I said, he has an incredible moment. He knocked out Alexander Volkanovski at one point, the pound for pound best fighter in the world. And that's incredible. But again, he was coming off a big knockout off Islam after fighting Islam twice. I don't know, man. And I know he's great. I just don't like to see like this young kid stepping up to Max Holloway, man. When you talk about Max Holloway, he's humble, he's respectful, he's a fucking badass. Ilya's like, oh, well, hey, have that energy and in the first 10 seconds come out and do this. And it's like, bro, shut the fuck up, man. Like, I don't know. It's hard for me to get behind these younger kids that, they step up to the ring and they're trying to talk to somebody that's done so much. He's been so credible for so many years. He doesn't have one big one under his belt. He doesn't have 2 big wins under his belt. He doesn't have 3 big wins under his belt. His whole career, his whole voyage in the UFC is one big staple and one big fight after big fight after big fight. And Ilia Topuria hasn't earned his stripes yet to talk shit to Max Holloway.
Okay, I totally get that, and I'm with you. And I do like to see some respect between the fighters, and this does seem a little bit disrespectful and out of place. But I do think it's making you feel an emotion, and I think whatever you want to say about whether or not it's right or wrong what Ilia is doing, I think he's doing it from an authentic place. I don't think he's trying to put on an act, which I love. I think he's being himself. He is a natural shit talker. He likes to get under people's skin. And so whatever you want to say, it's creating an emotion, and it's actually putting a lot of pressure on him, because think about it. And I'm going to play some of these clips in a second, but he's putting pressure on himself because he is so confident and so sure that not only is he going to win, but he's going to be the first person ever to knock Max Holloway out. And I got to say, when the stakes are raised like that, it's all about, I've said this before. Well, one of the main components that makes a fight exciting is the stakes attached to it. And this feels like it already had crazy high stakes, but now Ilia's throwing on top of that and putting all this pressure on himself. So I personally love it. Now we're going to take a look back first. And this is something that I think is important to note, that Ilia has clearly been working on his English. And if we go back, this is an old clip from when it was the presser when Paddy Pimblett was fighting what's this guy's name? Jordan. I can't remember what the controversial fight when he lost. Anyway, not Jordan Levitt. Sorry, not Jared Gordon. Jared Gordon, not Jordan. Sorry, okay, yeah. Jared Gordon. So this is when he was scheduled to fight Jared Gordon, and Ilia and Paddy already had that big that big kind of instance where Patty threw a hand sanitizer bottle at Ilia. That happened previously, and so they still hated each other. So listen to this exchange, and then I'm going to show you the exchanges with Max Holloway. So check this out.
Backstage?
What you said?
Has it been difficult being around Patty backstage?
I haven't seen him, lad. I haven't seen him all week. The UFC have kept us apart.
When he see me coming,
Because, you know, when I saw him last time, he got an hand sanitizer bottle bounced off his foot.
I don't understand you anything. Back in the flouty, mouthy, clouty, like what?
Hand sanitizer, boy!
Fuck you. Fucking Russian. Yeah. You want to
No
talk
one
to
even
me
knows
like
you
a man
by your
to man?
name, lad. You're known as hand sanitizer, boy. You little
Shut
mongrel.
up.
Now, look, he's having a hard time. And honestly, it's kind of unfair because English is his second language, right? So he's doing the best he can. But he's obviously having a hard time kind of communicating and keeping up with Patty. And Patty's kind of roasting him, whatever. Okay. Now we're going to go through these clips where he's going against Max Holloway. And once again, you can just see like his smack talking, I feel like has gotten really, really good. And he's getting under his skin, whatever you want to say, whether it's disrespectful or not, but I feel like it's effective. So let me get your thoughts. I want to play this clip. And guys, let us know in the comments too what you think. If this got you excited, like it did get me excited. I don't know if you guys agree or disagree. Here we go.
I've been a huge fan of you. I followed your entire career as a fan. You've been a great father, of course, yes. I'm not going to say the
rivals, I guess. I was in his position against Jose Aldo. Now we're here.
October 26th, after the October 26th, maybe you will become my fan. Maybe you will start learning from me.
I mean, I feel like that's pretty good. He's basically saying, yeah, you're a fan. And he's just saying like, yeah, I am a fan, but not for long. And then maybe we're going to flip it and you're going to be a fan of me. Hold on. Let me play one more clip. And as it gets deeper, I feel like Ilia kind of gets harsher on Max. So check this out.
Bro, I was so bored watching that fight.
He's talking about the Justin Gaethje versus Max Holloway fight. So listen. So he was
okay,
like,
now that just took all credibility away from everything he's about to say.
When he says it's boring, just listen to what he said. Just listen to what he said here.
Thing excited about that fight was the last 10 seconds, to be honest. But I didn't see any technique in that fight. I didn't see any strategy. I didn't see any fucking thing. I just saw a bar fight, to be honest. It was very spectacular for the fans, but for me as a professional, it was I don't know, not something very impressive, to be honest, because you can impress everyone, but you know the technique behind that knockout, and it was zero. Just
I mean, okay, okay, wait. I want to hear your thoughts right off the bat because he is a phenomenal fighter, amazing striking. He is a master of his domain. But yeah, let me hear your thoughts. I want to hear your thoughts.
Listen, to say, yeah, it looked like a bar fight, but guess what? Max Holloway set up that knockout shot, and this is why dude, Ilia Topuria would whoop my ass. He'd whoop me and you ass at the same time. Like, I'm not trying to put him down as a fighter, but bro, I'm not impressive. Like, it's a perfect combination that you practice. He squats down, he goes to body. Justin Gaethje goes to block his body, comes over top of the overhand. It was a great technical piece. Justin Gaethje's winging. He's winging for Max's head. So if you guys are eye to eye and someone's winging for your head, what do? You squat low. And guess what? Your head's not there anymore. And that's exactly what Max did. Justin Gaethje wanted the knockout. You can see him swinging for his head. Max ducks his body, goes to the body on Justin, and then throws that overhand and clips him. Like, to say it's not a technical shot is just asinine. And unfortunately, when I hear things like that, it just takes all credibility from everything you're saying. Because, I mean, that's like me saying to you, like, hey, bro, like, anytime there's a multiplication and I see the, 60, multiplied by 1 and it's 60 every time, but it shouldn't be, and that's just stupid. You'd be like, what do you mean? That's math.
Fair
And
enough.
when it's the same thing with MMA, it's like for him to say that isn't technique it just takes all credibility for everything else he's saying to me.
Okay, fair enough. That's actually really interesting perspective because I was listening to it. Of course, it does seem a little bizarre because that's one of the favorite fights of the year, maybe number 1, maybe number 2. So it is a little bizarre. But then I listened to him and he says it with such confidence and such assuredness. So I'm like, maybe there's something to it. Maybe he's seeing it at a different level. But that's really good perspective, and that's why I want to get your opinion. All right, 2 other quick clips I want to show you, and then we're going to, of course, talk about the fight and what we think we're going to see going down. And I'm going to give my thoughts also from like a psychological standpoint. I'm picking Ilia. I picked Ilia before, but I'm really, really picking Ilia now, even though it's not necessarily what I want to have happen, but that's what I'm feeling, and I'll tell you why in a moment. Okay, let me play these last 2 clips.
Yeah, show up and I'm gonna do the rest. Don't worry.
We find out, brother.
I already know what's gonna happen. The difference between me and you, it's that you need to see to believe. I first of all believe and then I see. That's the difference between us.
Good to know. Thank you.
You all.
Like, I do think it's also pretty funny how Max responds back to me. He's like, great. Well, if that's how you feel, wonderful. Okay, last clip here. We're gonna do the last one. 1 second, and then we're gonna talk it over and figure out our fight predictions.
Ilia is the new generation, like everybody been
You
saying.
were forced to fight
been
me.
here. I
You
can't
were
wait.
forced to fight me. You didn't want to
To
fight
fight
me.
you.
You were forced to
Forced
fight
to
me.
fight you.
Yeah, because you
I
asked
don't know
to fight with
telling you
Michael
this. You're
Chandler. You asked
crazy.
to fight with Conor McChicken. You asked to fight with too many fighters because you were trying to avoid me.
Who told you this? Who told you
Yeah.
this? Who told you this, my friend? Who told you this? Exactly. Shut up. You're lying. This guy's a liar.
I'm a liar. I'm a
Yeah.
liar.
Yeah. I asked for you. I asked for
Look
nobody
to
else.
my
I asked for
eyes.
Ilia
Look into
Topuria.
my eyes. I'm a
Look
liar.
at your eyes right here, brother.
Yeah.
What? What's up?
You are the one who
What's
were
up?
trying to avoid the fight. You were
How?
the one. Oh, saying no. You
How?
asked many
Explain
times
how.
about different fighters. You said to the UFC, I want to fight with Mike Chandler. I want to fight with Conor
I
McChicken.
never ever
want to
asked to
fight
fight Michael
with
Chandler.
this
Why
and
would I
that, da,
fight
da,
him?
da.
Why would I ask to fight him?
Everyone,
Why
but
would I
not
ask to
me.
fight him? Come on.
What?
You were the first guy I asked for. I want Ilia to. I want the easiest fight.
Yeah,
I want Ilia Topuria. That's what I said.
Yeah. The easiest fight. Whoa.
Okay, we're gonna stop it there. Wait, Justin, I feel like you're cringing hardcore right now. Okay, let's hear it.
It's so cringy because Max Holloway wants to be the champ. Why would he fight fucking Mike Chandler? Why would he ask to fight Mike Chandler after knocking out Justin Gaethje? Mike Chandler's like 2-3 in his last 5. He's not
Right.
in any title contention whatsoever. Why
Yeah.
why would he ask to fight Max Holloway? He's becoming one of my favorite fighters of all time. And why would he wants to be the champ? He doesn't want to beat Mike Chandler, and as tough as Mike Chandler is, he's irrelevant in title contention right now. I mean, he was going to fight Conor McGregor, who's lost like 3 fights in a row. Like Max Holloway wants to be the champ. He wants to fight the champ. It doesn't matter if it's Ilia, it doesn't matter if it's Volk, it doesn't matter if it's fucking Habib. Like, he wants to fight the number 1 guy. He doesn't get off on fighting these fucking chumps. So for Ilia to say that, he's 100% lying. He did not try to avoid that fight. It's just not the kind of guy Max is. And it's just cringy to me when guys are like, oh, you're scared. Listen, Max Holloway has shown up time and time repeating. And, in math terms, that's ... You have a fucking number. We're repeating, motherfucker. Like, he shows up every single time and fights the baddest guy every single time. And if Ilia Topuria is the champ, that's who he wants to fight. So for him just to say this, like, I liked Ilia, and then he said the BMF thing, and then I started to not like him. And then he said something else, and it's just cringy to me, man. I love good shit talk. I fucking love good shit talk. But this is just asinine, and this is just not good shit talk. And I'm kind of already sick of hearing about it. I hope Max goes in there, cleans this guy's clock, takes him to deep waters, makes him drown, knocks this motherfucker out, and he never comes back. Spain needs to be proud because this is their first champion. And when I went over and I competed in Spain a couple months ago, everyone is raving about Ilia. Everyone is freaking, like Ilia Topuria, like, it's fucking great because their whole country can get behind this guy, and he should be very proud of that. But guess what? Know your place. And telling the public that Max Holloway is afraid, bro, come on, man. Come on. Nobody in the UFC is afraid of anybody. It's the baddest people on the planet. There's only one person that's afraid of fighters in the UFC, and that's Colby Covington. And it's not Max fucking Holloway. And I just hate when fighters are, oh, he's afraid. Nobody's afraid of anybody. You can put me against Ilia Topuria. Like, I'm not afraid. I'm not saying I'm going to go and beat him, but I'm not afraid of him. I'm not afraid of no man. Anybody that's fighting at that high of a level that's been fighting that, nobody's afraid of anybody, man. And I hate when people are like, oh, you're scared. Man, I'm just so annoyed. Fuck.
That's a fair point, and I've heard a lot of people say that exact same thing, that it's stupid to ever say. Even Ariel Helwani and the people on his show, even though they're not fighters themselves, but they always make sure to respect fighters and recognize, like, nobody's really scared of anybody. Maybe you're more inclined to fight somebody else versus, a different person, but no, I think you're right. Okay, fair enough. And if I feel like you're really pulling for Max Holloway, but I will say this, maybe some of the things he's saying are not not entirely true, and he's just
Hey,
trying
wait,
to.
hold on. One more thing. One more thing. Sorry, Josefa, but
Go for it.
why
Go
is he
for it.
carrying around the BMF belt? Why is he carrying around a BMF belt? Like
I think
he went. Think about it. He went to the store and bought that belt. Like he bought
he
it.
did.
Like he didn't earn that. Like what the
Yeah.
fuck? Like that's cringy as fuck to me. Can you imagine me doing an interview and wearing a UFC belt? Like every time we go and I'm fucking, I'm the UFC, like I'm the champ. Like what? What is this? What is this nonsense?
Okay, I get it. It is a little silly and it's a little childish, but I think I think it's serving the purpose of getting under Max Holloway's skin, right? So I'll put it like this. It may be cringy, it may be silly, it may be a little bit inaccurate in terms of the things he's saying, but I think he's making it the build-up interesting. He's definitely pissing Max Holloway off, which not saying I like it or don't like that per se, but I think it makes it interesting. And also it puts a lot of pressure on him. Again, if he loses, it's going to be that much worse for him and that much better for Max Holloway. So all I'll say in conclusion is whether or not people like it or dislike it, I think it makes the fight a heck of a lot more interesting. I'm excited to see what happens. So I was already pretty much at a 10 out of 10 for this. So maybe I'm at like a 10.5 out of 10 or even an 11 out of 10. So let's see what happens. But I got to say, it sounds like you're going with Max Holloway. Man, even if we might find some of the things that Ilia is saying to be annoying or cringy or whatever, he just seems to be brimming with confidence. On top of that, he had such a masterful performance against Alexander Volkanovski. And I know we can't necessarily apply that to Max Holloway, but I just feel like, man, to talk this way and to be this confident and to troll somebody who's such an established champ, I just feel like it indicates that he is highly confident and there's reason behind that confidence. So that's why I'm going. I do feel like Ilia is going to get it done. So I guess we'll see. And we have a difference of opinion, but that's always fun. So we'll see who's right as that unfolds. By the way, we got some comments. Pern is back in the mix. He says, evening, people. What's up, Pern? Great to see you. And Teron says, I'm with you, Justin. I want to see Ilia get humbled by Holloway. So I'm excited either way.
100.
Again, as I mentioned before, the storyline in either case is beautiful, is brilliant. Maybe Max wins and he rematches Volk. Maybe he moves up and tries to be a double champ. Who knows, right? There's so many interesting things. And conversely, if Ilia wins, there's a lot of interesting storylines as well. So let's see what happens.